Yo, what's up guys, Winter Kills here, and welcome to a brand new test hand video for Gold Pride Punk here in August 2023. If you want to see the accompanying deck list, deck profile video, it should be already up on the channel. I'll leave a link to it up in the top right for you guys to check out. And we're going to do 3 to 4, 5 if we have enough time, test hands in this video, just running through how to play out certain random hands that we'll draw, combo, talk about playing through hand traps, what to do with good and bad hands, whichever hands we get. And yeah, hopefully you guys can learn something. Hopefully it's helpful. If it is, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And don't forget to check out the ways you can support the channel in the description by checking out Imperium Duelist. Discount code through them so you guys get 10% off their amazing products, TCG accessories on their website. Again, link below. And discount code WinterKills10 off at checkout. And again, don't forget to use my TCG Player affiliate link, which is also found in the description of all my videos. Anytime you guys shop and check out using that link, a small bit of the revenue from your purchase goes right back in the channel and helps out a ton. So with all that out of the way, let's hop into the test hand video itself. So I've done some shuffling off camera here prior to the start of the video, because everything was just separated for the profile that I literally just filmed. You can probably tell I'm wearing the same shirt, sitting in the same exact position. Also got the camera on the right side of me as opposed to the left side, which I normally have it. I don't know if that view looks any better or not, but I'm going to shuffle just a little bit more because I'm superstitious about it. So yeah, we're going to do a little over-under shuffling technique here. And we'll be on our way to our first hand here. Now, a lot of the punk combos, I will say, are pretty linear in how you do them. They all kind of play out the same way. If you start with, like Xiamen, for example, but they can kind of vary in some small, interesting ways. So we'll see if we get to see any of that. So let's draw into our first hand where we have Leon. Double Leon. Double Leon. Okay, I'm impressed by that almost. Double Leon. I talked about in the profile how I wanted to play a higher card count to avoid drawing something like Leon, but here we are drawing 2 in the opening hand. We also have Upstart Goblin, which if we didn't have access to punk cards would be a starter, a way to play. So we take those. But we're not going to upstart right away. We want to hold this little draw 1 until we absolutely need to. So what I'm going to do in this particular hand is activate Foxy Tune. I'm going to discard Foxy Tune, and if they let it resolve, great. I'm probably going to discard the Leon, although there is maybe an argument for discarding the Deer Note, but I'm going to keep that in hand, and we're going to discard the extra Leon that we don't really need, and we're going to special summon out Xiamen, and we'll use Xiamen effect here to go ahead and pay 600 to search for a punk monster, now successfully lowering our life points below our opponents. And we're going to add Sharakusai. And again, we don't really have to use the Deer Note here. We can just keep it in hand, or we could just normal summon it, but that means we have to burn our normal summon, which I don't really, I'm not really a big fan of. I don't think we'll necessarily need our normal summon though. And we might as well keep the extra card in hand anyways. But I guess we could also just fusion off of these, because I believe Deer Note, if it's just sent from the field to the graveyard. Because I'm kind of debating, like, if we want to keep this in a hand as like a future extender at some point down the road would be a good thing to have, or if we just fusion off with these and leave the Deer Note in hand, or we leave the extra level 3 on field. I think I am going to leave the extra level 3 on field. So we're just going to use Sharakusai, pay 600 to fusion off with that extra name, leave the Xiamen on board, and we're going to go for Rising Carp. And we're going to activate Rising Carp's effect. This is where we check to see if they have Ash, because if they don't have Ash, well, they don't Ash the Rising Carp, that means they just didn't have Ash outright, or they just don't know what they're doing. I mean, they could have Ashed Foxy Tune. There is a world where I could see somebody ashing Foxy Tune, but if they're going for punk combo, you just Ash the Rising Carp. So yeah, let's say, though, for the sake of this particular hand, that the effect does not get ashed, so we're going to go ahead and summon out a Wagon and a Deer Note from the deck. The second Deer Note, because we do play 2. So we're going to pay 600 again, and we're going to go ahead and add our punk spell. In this case, it's going to be the field spell, the Jam Extreme Session. And we're going to activate this. I'll just activate this up here so you guys can see it, because I don't know if it might be a little too far off camera over there. So we'll activate that, and then we're going to go ahead and synchro off the Wagon and the Deer Note for Dragon Drive. And now we have a couple chain links here. We're going to chain link 1 Dragon Drive, chain link 2 Deer Note, and we're going to be able to bring back a monster from our grave, a punk monster that is not a level 5. So we could bring back the Foxy Tune, which I think I actually am going to do so we can make a rank 8, and we're going to pay 600 here to go ahead and search for a level 3 Psychic. And we could grab Nian Nian here, but we already normal summon, so I'm not going to go for that. And instead, I'm going to go ahead and add the Madam Spider. All right, so from here, once we've added the Madam Spider to our hand, we're going to go ahead and overlay our Foxy Tune and our Dragon Drive into a rank 8. Now, if we know what we're playing against, we might have a better idea of what rank 8 we want to go for, whether it be number 90 or number 38. But just for a generic, test hand, we'll just go for the number 90 here to have access to a monster negate. And importantly, I'm also forgetting our draw 1 off the field spell. So let's go ahead and draw 1. So we draw into a triple tactics talent. And then we would go ahead and make the number 90. So from here, we're going to use the Jam Extreme Session effect. And we're going to go ahead and banish a punk from the grave. So we'll just banish one of the Deer Notes and special summon out the Madam Spider. And then we'll activate Madam Spider effect, paying 600 to go ahead and have the Punk Trap, the Dangerous Gabu. And from here, we're going to get to draw another card on resolution of this effect, since we did pay to activate a Psychic. And we draw Ash Blossom, so that's really strong. And we don't need to use Upstart just yet, because we still have more deck thing to do. So now we're going to overlay our 2 level 3s into Chariot Carry. And we're going to activate Chariot Carry effect. Detaching Xiamen here doesn't really matter exactly what we detach, so long as we get something detached. So we're going to go ahead and add a copy of the Better Luck Next Time. And then we can send here. And I am going to send the carry here. And it's nice that we actually opened Leon already in this instance, because that means our Better Luck Next Time search can be freed up. So we're going to go ahead and activate Leon, special summon itself, activate its effect to bring out the Captain Carry. Captain Carry effect will now trigger to go ahead and search for a trap for Gold Pride, just like that. Then we can activate the Better Luck Next Time to go ahead and search. I'm going to search for the Nitro Head here, actually, just because we're going to be able to get something like Roller Baller off of the trap, so we don't necessarily need that here. And it's also just a good way to, again, play around like Imperms and play around Evenly Matched, Lightning Storm, Kashtira cards in general. So it's a good card to have on board, I find. And yeah, so we get that out in the field. We take 23. It's a lot to take because we've already paid 600, once off Xiamen, once off Sharakusai, Wagon, and Madam Spider, and Dragon Drive. So that's 5 times 6, which is 3,000. Plus we lost another 23, so that's 5,300 life points we paid in total, which leaves us at 27. Yeah, 2,700 life points. There's not a whole lot left to have, but we do have a pretty nice board here. So now at this point, we can safely upstart Goblin here. So I'm just going to shuffle really quickly before we draw. And we'll give our opponent 1,000 life points. So upstart draws into a Xiamen, which is really good follow-up. Unfortunately, though, we don't have our other Deer Note in deck, which we normally would have. But we opened a little awkward, so we don't have that luxury here. And now we're just going to go proceed to end phase, where the Chariot Carry is going to go back into the extra deck. And that's going to proc the effect of Better Luck Next Time once we summon another Chariot Carry. So we have that Trish play set up now. And we get another draw. So we've drawn 4 cards this turn. And let's see what our next draw is. We draw into Roller Baller. We'd also have set Start Your Engines and set Gabu as well. It's very unfortunate that we draw the Roller Baller here. It's something we didn't want to draw, because now our trap card is even worse, because we don't have a guaranteed anything. Like, we don't have a guaranteed Leon, and we don't have a guaranteed Roller Baller now because we just drew that. It's one of the things that I just don't like about the trap, but at least it's still a pop at the end of the day. So let's kind of review what interruptions we have here. We have a quick synchro for either Star Leon or Trish, or we can go for Yukio Amazing Punk, or we could go for the Psychic End Punisher. if we want. Probably going to go for Yukio, though, just always a little bit better, because we want to save that Psychic End Punisher for our following turn. We have a Monster Negate here. We have a Pop here, and we have an Imperm here. We have an Ash in hand, and we do have decent follow-up. And depending on what we get off the Start Your Engines, that gives us more options too. Like if we get Rollerballer, right, the last one of Rollerballer in the deck, we can summon that and have access to Pinballer on top of everything else that we have here. So yeah, I would say that's a pretty solid test hand here. Kind of like the standard rundown of how the deck wants to play, what your standard end board usually will end up looking like, and kind of how you get there. So let's see what our next couple of test hands have in store for us. If we'll draw worse, if we'll draw better. We just don't want to draw that Deer Note. I mean, again, as you saw there, it's not so bad. And sometimes there's discard fodder, or sometimes it's like a decent extender too, because it does have that in-hand effect to reveal itself in another punk, and then either summon the Deer Note, or send it, or summon the other monster. So not always terrible to draw in the opening hand, but we're going to shuffle here real quick, and then we'll draw into our next test hand. All right, deck has been shuffled. Hopefully that was thorough enough. Let's draw into our next hand here, where we have Imperm, Xiamen, Triple Tactics Talent, Start Your Engines, and Leon. Leon seems to be glued to our hands today, but that is okay, because we still do have access to full combo here, plus protections from hand traps. And despite all that, even we do get interrupted enough, like we still have Imperm plus Start Your Engines plus Leon, which isn't always a bad sort of combo to have. So we're going to normal summon Xiamen, and we're going to pay 600 to go ahead and search. Now, we've already used our normal summon here, so like normally if you would open like E-Telly per se instead of Xiamen here, we'd E-Telly out the Xiamen, pay 6, search Sharakusai, normal summon Sharakusai, then fusion, and then we're kind of off to our plays. But we don't have the luxury for that here, so we're going to have to go ahead and grab something like Foxy Tune per se. Now, we could also play this out like if we got Drolled here, which honestly I think I'm fine with, because if we don't kind of act like we played through any hand traps here, it's going to kind of look very similar to what we did in the last test hand. So let's say we just got hit with Droll, which is something a lot of people are going to be siding in against this deck. Droll has always been notoriously good against this deck and, you know, punk cards in general. So let's say they hit us with Droll. First things first, we're going to go ahead and use talents to look at their hand right away to check for other hand traps they might have, or key starters or engine cards that they'll have for next turn. So we're going to take a look at their hand, rip their best card out, and then we're going to activate the Foxy Tune. And we do have to make a very split decision here on what we want to discard, because I actually don't want to discard the Leon, because the fact that we open this now under Droll is really huge, and it's going to make our starter engines even better. So I am going to discard the Imperm here, as much as I don't want to do that. And we're actually just going to go ahead and summon out the Deer Note from the deck. We could still summon Sharakusai, I suppose, and make Rising Carp. I guess that's an option we have. Kind of gets the Sharakusai out of the deck. But then we kind of lose that on the following turn, which is a good play to have. So I'm actually not going to do that. I'm just going to summon Deer Note right away off of the Foxy. Or off of the Foxy Tune. Getting these cards mixed up. So now we're going to go ahead and Synchro 8 into Dragon Drive. Since we don't really have any other Synchro 8s to make here that would make sense. We could go for Dragon, but we don't have a Water Engrave, so that's obviously not going to make sense. So right now we have a couple options. We're going to go Chainlink 1 Dragon Drive to search or send. We're obviously going to have to send in this case, and then Chainlink 2 Deer Note to be able to special summon one back. So I'm going to bring back, we could also use Xiamen effect too, I guess, as Chainlink 3, which we might as well to Chain Block from Bell to give the 600. So we'll do all that. We're going to bring out the Xiamen, and we're going to send off the Nian Nian, which is what we're going to do. And we already have the Leon in hand, which is good. So we'll send that, summon this out. And we could make Psychic End Punisher if we want to. We might need to in a situation like this where we get hit with Droll. And now we can use Leon's effect to special summon itself out. And from there, we can go ahead and proc Nian to special summon itself out as well. We cannot go for Chariot Carry here, which is a little unfortunate because, again, we are under Droll Lock. There's no real reason to go for it here. We have a lot of tuners on field. These are all treated as tuners currently. Trying to think here what else we could do. Actually, you know what? I think what makes better sense in this hand is that we bring back the Foxy Tune off of the Deernote instead of the Xiamen. Because then we can go ahead and overlay into a number 90. That way we can protect our starter engines from Ash next turn, which is not bad. So yeah. And we also, I guess, didn't technically have to summon the Yan Yan. We could just leave that in grave as set up for next turn. So then we'll just set the starter engines and pass there. So yeah, I mean, it's not the greatest end board, but I mean, Droll and Lockbird, again, is very good against this deck. So we have the number 90, we have the Leon, and we have the start your engines, which I think in this case, I probably would not reveal. Like, obviously don't want to reveal Leon. We don't have anything set up in grave for it. And revealing Rollerballer, I guess, could make sense. Like, if we think Rollerballer is going to be a better form of interruption. But I think going for Chariot Carry might just be better, because we can make Leon, Star Leon. We can search another trap for follow-up. And we also have the opportunity to summon Nian off that if we'd like. And also, we could set up the fact that Leon's effect can activate again during the end phase when we use the other effect of Star Leon, right? If we use the effect of Pop, we can bring out another Leon and then bring out a carry from grave. And then from there, we can bring out the Nian, and we have our way to make a free Chariot Carry next turn with the help of that extra body to kind of give us more resources after getting hit with Droll like that. So I figured we'd do a hand where we kind of scenario, like do a scenario where we get hit with Droll, because again, that is something that's going to happen to you if you play this deck. People are 100% without a doubt going to side on Droll, and that's kind of how a hand would play out under Droll. So yeah, hopefully all that made sense. Let's go ahead and shuffle the deck again and do another test hand. All right, done shuffling. Let's begin test hand number 3. Opening hand, we have Xiamen, Leon, Fenrir. Finally, we draw Fenrir, Valor, and Jam Extreme Session. All right, so hopefully this hand would look a little bit different. So first and foremost, we're going to start by special summoning Fenrir. We'll activate Fenrir effect. Go ahead and search for a Kashtira. We're obviously just going to search out another copy of himself, and this is going to be just basically free discard fodder now for our Foxy Tune. We're going to normal summon Xiamen, activate effect. Go ahead and search for a Foxy Tune. We pay 600 for that, obviously, so now all of our Gold Pride monsters are online. We'll activate the Foxy Tune, discarding itself, and then if it resolves, we discard the extra Fenrir, and that's going to go ahead and special summon the Sharakusai. And obviously, we're going to go ahead and be able to pay 6 to Fusion Summon. This is one of my favorite things about the deck, is just doing the Punk combo. It's just very fun, very satisfying to pull off. Then we're going to activate this effect here to go ahead and summon out 2 Punks from our hand or deck that are not level 8s and that have different names. So when I find the Wagon here, yeah, there we go. So we have Wagon and Deernote. Now we already have the field spell, but I still wanted to get it out of deck because we just might as well. And then before we go any further, we want to activate our field spell so we don't miss out on that pay 600 from Dragon Drive. So now we're going to go ahead and Synchro, and we're going to go for the Dragon Drive, obviously. And we're going to go Chainlink 1 Dragon Drive, Chainlink 2 Deernote, and I'm trying to see exactly what I want to bring out. Because we do have option to go for a Baron here, potentially, which I think is going to be better than just leaving Fenrir. But I want to see exactly how we can do this, because we have to think carefully on what we want to be able to bring out, because we're also going to get a draw here too. Part of me wants to bring out a level 3 so we have access to a Baron, but we can also get there by searching a level 3 off the Dragon Drive that we're going to summon anyways, which is going to be the Madam Spider. So I think I am going to bring out a level 3, just because we still need a way to make Chariot Carry, which we do not have yet. So we're going to search out Madam Spider now, and then we get to draw a card because of the field spell, so I guess it just kind of depends on what we draw here. That'll help us decide what we do. So we'll cut the deck really quick, and we draw into another Foxy Tune. That's actually really good. Drawing into Foxy Tune is actually pretty good here. So we have normal summoned already. We normal summoned our Xiamen. So what I want to do now is use the effect of the field spell. We'll banish Deernote and we'll special summon Madam Spider. We'll pay 6, and we're going to go ahead and search for the Dangerous Gabu And we're going to get to draw yet another card because of the field spell. I love Pot of Greed. And we draw into a Xiamen. Okay, so more punk cards, more follow-up, not bad. All right, so from here we have a couple options, right? I think we're going to keep it simple, though, and we're going to go ahead and just overlay into Chariot Carry, although leaving Sharakusai on board as a way to quick synchro as well is kind of enticing. Because we could just summon the Leon, right? Because we don't really need Leon's effect this turn, so we'll just go ahead and activate Leon. And then we're going to go ahead and overlay both of these into the extra monster zone for Chariot Carry. We'll activate Chariot Carry effect, attaching the Madam Spider. Doesn't really make a difference here. And we're going to go ahead and grab the... Not the Crowd Goes Wild. We're going to grab Better Luck Next Time. They look so similar. And then we're going to get to send a card. So I think I'm just going to send a Carry. And then we're going to activate the spell. And we're going to go ahead and add a Carry so we can get access to our trap. We'll special summon it, activate Effect of Search, and we also take that 900 points of damage there. And from here, we could also, again, either make Baron or we could just leave our field as is. Yeah, so I think we will just synchro up and do a Baron because I think that's just going to be better than not having Baron. And yeah, I think that will pretty much do it for our turn. We'll set the Start Your Engines, set the Dangerous Gabu, and then resolve the Chariot Carry here in the end phase. And we'll just go ahead and summon another Carry from the deck. And then we get to draw one. And hopefully we draw into an Ash Blossom, because that would make this just like the perfect end board. Perfect draw here in the end phase. Let's see what it is. It's an Upstart Goblin, so I mean, I guess we'll take that. That's just a free draw to start our next turn. And yeah, so let's review what we have here. We have Effect Veiler, we have Baron, we have Start Your Engine, which is a pop into more Interruption, and we have Imperm here. And we do have 2 Leons in deck and Rollerballer, so I think we're definitely going to reveal double Leon Rollerballer off of our Start Your Engines. If we get the Leon, we don't even have to, use its effect. We wouldn't be able to use its effect anyways because our zones are so clogged, but that's fine because we still have access to make either Trish or Star Leon. And yeah, I think that's fine if we get the Rollerballer as well. We can make Pinballer with 3 materials, so we can take 3 monsters as well. So yeah, that's it for that test hand. Let's go ahead and shuffle up here and do one more test hand. All right, enough shuffling for this test hand here. Let's draw into our... I think this will be our final test hand of the video, unless we just absolutely brick right here. But let's see what we got. We have Xiamen, so we didn't brick. We draw Leon again, though. Leon has literally... We've drawn Leon every single time. I just think that's funny because I talked about spacing the deck out in the deck profile to not draw him specifically. And here we are just drawing him every single time. So this hand is a little fragile. And starting Xiamen is like always great. Normal summoning him is obviously not the best. You definitely want to have E-Telly. I think we probably could end on a much better board than the last test hand. I think I wanted to touch on, but I didn't get a chance to. But if we would have E-Tellied out the Xiamen, our end board would have been way, way better. I think we would have been able to end on a rank 8 plus Baron and everything else instead of just leaving the Dragon Drive there. So yeah, here we're going to normal summon Xiamen, and you guessed it, we're going to pay 600 life points to go ahead and add a punk monster from our deck to our hand. And we are going to add Foxy Tune. And then we're going to activate Foxy Tune. We're going to discard the other Xiamen. And hopefully that will resolve here, bringing out the Sharakusai. And yeah, here's the Sharakusai. Now we opened up Carry and Leon, which is nice. So we have some extra plays here. If, our fish gets ashed, which we might as well play this one out like that happens, I guess, since we haven't gone over that scenario yet. So we're going to pay 6. They will let us fusion, obviously, into the fish, and again we're just going to act like we get ashed on that effect there, which again is very, very high impact. So what do we do now? Well, we could cry about it. That's one thing we could do, or we could continue playing with the Gold Pride monsters that we have in our hand. And if the only real way you're playing around Rising Carp getting ashed is by having extra Gold Pride cards in hand, which we are lucky that we do have here. So we're going to start by special summoning the Captain Carry since our life points are lower. Because we did pay 1,200 life points already from the Sharakusai and the Xiamen. And we're going to add Start Your Engines. Then we're going to go ahead and activate the Better Luck Next Time here. And it would be nice to get access to Chariot Carry here, which I definitely think we could do. It might be a little awkward though, because if we grab something per se like Roller Baller here, or we could just grab the Nitro Head, and then we could special summon Leon for no effect, overlay, make the Chariot, and then search the other spell. You know what? Actually, I think that sounds pretty good here. Actually, the other spell might actually come in clutch. Yeah. So we're gonna search the trap. Then Better Luck next time is gonna go ahead and grab us the Nitro Head, and then we're gonna go ahead and special summon Leon, overlay Leon, and carry into Chariot Carry, activating the Chariot Carry here. Now I would personally detach the Chariot Carry here, and we're gonna go ahead and search for a spell. Which we're going to add the Crowd Goes Wild, and we're also going to send the other Chariot Carry. Still have one in deck, and we still have 2 Leons and 2 Baller. Now we're going to activate the Crowd Goes Wild. We're going to reveal Nitro Head, and we're going to add our Roller Baller here. Or we could special summon it. That's, I guess, one thing we could do. We could reveal Leon, I guess. Yeah, actually, you know what? We could just do that. We're just going to add Leon and then special summon it. And then we can use Leon's effect to special summon here since we never used it when we summoned it the first time. So that will actually come in clutch. And then we'll special summon out the Nitro Head, and we'll set the trap. And during the end phase, we'll resolve... I keep putting this to the graveyard. We'll resolve the effect of Chariot Carry. And we'll just go ahead and summon the other carry from the graveyard here. So we keep names in our deck as much as possible. And then we get our draw one, which is Ash Blossom. So, I mean, I think that's probably the best you could ask for off of getting hit with Ash on Rising Carp. Is just hope you have enough Gold Pride cards in hand to keep playing through it. And that Crowd Goes Wild did come in clutch there, I think. Much more than the Monster Reborn spell would have, in my opinion. So we have Trap. We have options for Trish. We have options for Yu-Gi-Oh! Amazing Punk, because we still do have 3 level 3 Psychics in our graveyard. So that is still a balance 3 Ash. We have the token, again, protection from Lightning Storm evenly, Imperm, and Kashtiras alike. So not a bad board through getting hit in one of the most, like, best hit spots. So yeah, pretty decent board there if you ask me, especially after getting hit on the Rising Carp. So that is going to do it for this test hand video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something. And yeah, I think that is going to be a good time to wrap up this test hand video. Hope you guys enjoyed and learned something. If you did, be sure to like and sub if you have not already. Updated Galaxy deck profile and Infernoble content coming up very, very soon. So as always, Winterkill signing out. We'll see you guys in the next one. And like always, a big thank you goes to our current Divine level channel members who are Misfit, H-Shade, Cyber, Cadillacs, Pony Stark, and Green. Thank you guys so much as always for your very kind and extremely generous support of this channel.